one's funnier. Those fingers, look at those claws.
It's like this. I like grabbing, like, you know how this has a handle, yeah?
Yeah.
You see how this has a handle? I never use the handle.
No, he just grips
Always, I grip like this.
This
I
spank it.
don't know why I do that.
Makes you feel manly, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, slightly.
Adds a bit more of a...
Am I bugging out, or is the camera the wrong way around now?
If as long as it looks good. Let me just have a look.
You can't. Bruv.
It actually looks fine. It honestly looks fine. Straight up looks fine.
Yeah?
I can't lie, it actually looks fine. Yeah, it actually looks fine.
Alright, cool.
Straight up.
I can't, okay.
Can you... Okay, we're in. We're
Yeah.
in. Should we make a thumbnail? Alright, cool.
New setup again.
We're outside. Vibing.
I've got a building work going outside my house, which was unexpected. You know, it's peak because I told you about my wall, right? I put like a new blackboard up.
Yeah.
And we're gonna write stuff on it.
Oh yeah.
And I was so pissed because like I wanted to do that today.
Oh, it's there, innit?
Yeah. I wanted to do that today, but I can't now.
Right on the fence, you know what I mean? Get some spray paint, mate.
But I think after, because we're recording this on the Wednesday before lockdown number 2.
Round 2, 2.0.
So before lockdown number 2, we're recording. I'm not gonna be recording for a month. This will come out mid-November, 2 weeks from now. Yeah.
Say less.
That's why.
I'll be locked in.
Yeah.
Ready to go.
You know what we can do though? What we're allowed to do? Like, I don't know if this is still true. You may know this, but like I'm allowed to see you outside of my house.
Which is basically what we're doing now.
So we can carry on recording.
We could do this.
I can do this.
I can do this. I can get used to this. You know what I mean? It's a nice day. So
as long as it's not raining. We got lucky today with.
We did get very
the
lucky.
weather.
Not a cloud in the sky.
But it is a bit cold.
It is a bit
chilly.
It is a bit chilly.
Yeah.
Hence the North Face and the beanie. You know what I mean? Because I was shivering.
But yeah, sorry about the keep changing our setup.
I think it's interesting. It keeps the viewers on their toes. You know what I mean? They don't know what to expect.
Yeah, but you know,
you want to have like a setup
because like now it took me like ages to set up. I still don't know. Like this might be. I feel like the camera's the wrong way around. But obviously I can flip it. But I'm still a bit slow when it comes to this kind of stuff. So I need to learn.
So learning your trade.
Yeah, you know.
Nah, say no more.
So yeah, like if this is bad, then if the quality's bad, if the sound is bad, just know we're outside. Some birds might fly in.
Yeah, innit? Just get used to it, bro. It's nature.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, get used to it.
If I see any comments about the fence or the wind or any birds, settle down, right?
There's nothing wrong with the couple
You know what I mean? There's nothing wrong with birds. They're actually pretty useful, as it were. Eating the worms and that.
For you, yeah. But yeah.
Why are we here today, Agaash? What are we talking about?
We're gonna be this is the one episode after Madeleine McCann. You were like, oh cool, let me talk about fast fashion. And at the start when you said that to me, I didn't know what fast fashion was.
Right, okay.
Like I was so confused. I was like, fast fashion? What's this guy chatting about? And you were like, yeah, just do fast fashion. I was like, yeah, man, I got you. I know what that is. I had no idea what that was, yeah. I had to go home. I googled it for a bit, but now I know.
Okay,
it's basically fast food.
Yeah, it's like
clothing.
fast food, but for clothes.
And what is your issue with it? Because all I'm gonna say is, I'm gonna be the other side to you.
Okay, cool, yeah.
But even though I do agree with you, I'm just gonna go on the other side.
Just so I can have something to argue with.
Basically.
And have an actual discussion between both sides.
Because I don't know what your issue is.
My main issue is environmentally. I'm gonna go so the 3 points I think that my main 3 problems are the environmental issues that it has, morally. So that's sort of environmental as well, but that's more human based, less so about the physical environment they're affecting, and then also about fashion in general, because fast fashion just gets trends and sells the items or styles for a cheaper price, right?
Yeah.
And I appreciate. I'm gonna start with that because I'm just gonna go into it. So I appreciate, like, if you want Balenciagas, if you want that shape of shoe, but you obviously obviously who's got 6 bills to spend on a crep?
Yeah,
Well, it's
yeah.
nearly 8 bills now, because they keep boosting the price. So every season they boost the price £50
Okay.
of this Triple S, right? I'm going with the Triple S because it was a hype sneak, and it was used by the style was used by a lot of different fast fashion brands. And same with again with Balenciaga, they had like a stripe logo hoodie or jumper or whatever. So the shoes you can find in Zara for about 35 quid, right?
Yeah.
And
Is before you carry on into that, was Zara the main sort of the starter for fast fashion? That's what, when I read into it, it was them.
Zara's good quality, but environmentally they're very bad.
Yeah.
So because when you buy a Zara shirt, it feels nice. You're like, oh, this isn't fast fashion, but it is.
Yeah.
That's why it's sort of a bit confusing. Same with Uniqlo.
What makes it fast fashion though? Is it because it's cheap?
And
the materials are just very.
Fast fashion. It's like it's made in large quantities just to be sold, and if it's not sold, or if the trend goes and you've still got loads from like a certain style that isn't in trend anymore, that stuff gets thrown away because no one's going to buy it anymore.
Okay.
So it's a thing where a trend occurs, a brand that has access to manufacturing that is cheap, that is they can get away with treating their workers a certain way because they'll do it in a country where the laws aren't established. So they can get away with it, and then they'll see a trend and think, right, we can make that cheap 100 times faster with like easy, like quicker materials, whack it on our website, and then we'll just go like that. So the trend gets stolen, which frustrates me as someone who likes fashion, and I feel like you can innovate and create new interesting things, but it doesn't have to be really expensive, nor does it have to be a copy of what's already out there. You know what I mean? And I would much rather have a world where let Balenciaga do their thing, let them have the trend, and then we have all these little brands doing their own thing and making their own little styles and making their own individual brands, and sort of so that way everyone has more of an individual style. You know what I mean? Like, I'm aside of all the environmental, I'll get into that, but it's just so everyone has an individual style, because it's just like, for me, it's just quite sad to see everyone wearing the same thing. You know, it's like, I know you've got a personality.
But it's,
I know you've got interests.
I don't think they buy it for that though. Because fast fashion to me, like how I said at the start, it's just a cheaper alternative, isn't it?
Yeah.
Like fast food, like McDonald's. Like if you can't go to a restaurant and you want a burger, you go to McDonald's, get the cheapest burger there is. Right?
Yeah, exactly.
It's the same with these clothes.
See, it's like people see a Balenciaga top they want. They're not gonna want to drop 7 bills on it. They see pretty much the same exact style, and because luxury fashion is just a massive rip off anyway, because the materials might be a little bit better in some brands, but a lot of the time it is nowhere near the price tag it's worth. So if you're not willing to drop 7 bills on a Balenciaga jumper, you can buy a Boohoo Man one, which is like about half the quality, but it will still feel good, and when you put it on, it will look very similar. So if I get the want to have the look, right, but I feel like the look is taken away when it's not. People know it's Boohoo Man, you know what I mean? And I feel like it sort of detracts from because when you buy a certain style, you're buying it because you want people to know you're wearing Balenciaga.
People might want to know what they're wearing Boohoo Man.
They might do. They may do.
There are some nice new like gym stuff from Boohoo, I think.
Yeah.
And it looks pretty good.
Yeah, and that's why I'm saying this point first, because it's more of a personal vendetta with me. Because like I just.
Why is it personal to you? Explain why. Explain what you're, because what I've done poorly as well. These first 4 episodes, I haven't introduced you like properly. And when I did introduce you, it was in that one episode which I haven't put out.
Okay.
So what do you do?
So
why is it so personal? To you?
Okay, so it's personal to me because for a while, since I was about 16, I've quite liked fashion. So I was in year 12 studying geography and doing all that, and I failed, and then I got a job in retail for a leather goods company, and now I managed to work my way into Harvey Nicks, right? So I'm just on the shop floor selling clothes, but fashion, and I follow a lot of fashion Insta pages. It's just like I care about what I wear, and I try to be interested with what I wear, right? And I like to see it when people are being not out there, but just an individual style.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, you don't have to be crazy. You don't have to be wearing fluorescent dresses.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
I'm not saying that, but just wear something sustainable and that's unique, right?
Okay.
So, because I like fashion and because I have done for a while now, a lot of the time I just catch myself just like looking at people's outfits and thinking what's gone through their minds to put that together. You know what I mean? And sometimes I'll be like, I appreciate that because I can see the details. Maybe they haven't thought about it. Maybe I'm just overthinking it in my head. But if I see someone's outfit, I'm like, okay, the hat matches the belt, which matches the laces, the accents and all of that sort of thing. It looks good. Whether they're meant to do that or not, I appreciate it. But when I see someone wearing trends, just literally you can stand 5 people in a row and they're wearing the exact same outfit, that frustrates me because I know each one of those people have an individual personality, and a lot of the time you wear things to sort of fit in. You know what I'm saying? And I feel like as hard as it may be, like, because not everyone's gonna want to be as out there with their style as others, and they may just want to maybe that's all they want to do is fit in because they don't care about fashion like that. So that's where the other issue comes in, because people don't care about the environment. They just want to sort of dress correctly,
for the trend.
For the trend, yeah. And breaking that mold, like breaking, breaking the mold of feeling like you have to wear what your social group wears or what the people you think are cool wears, is the first thing to making everyone a bit more individual. And a lot of it comes from social media, because you get all these people promoting Nasty Gal, Boohoo Man, Forever 21, which I'm pretty sure went under now, but all that sort of thing, you know what I mean? So they see their favourite influencer wearing it and they go and wear it. And like I said, they don't really particularly look into the environment like that, or on the environmental side, because they may not give a about fashion. And I feel like it is down to the brands to make sure they're doing that, because a lot of the time the customer won't care, they're just going to buy something.
Yeah.
And when you're a white food is the biggest polluter in the world. The food industry is the biggest polluter in the world, whether it's the wasted food or the manufacturing of it, or just the environment that's harmed when you're getting the livestock, that sort of thing. Second is fashion.
So like clothes.
Yeah, a white t-shirt, just a general white t-shirt you'll find in Primark, probably takes I want to say around 2 gallons of water to make. And when you think about just water shortage in the world, you're thinking, what's the need for that when you could make a t-shirt that's slightly off-white?
Yeah.
Because a lot of the time the bleach and the colouring is what takes a lot of the hydration and all the water, right? You could have a slightly off-colour t-shirt, maybe at a slightly higher price point than Primark, instead of £3, £7, but it's made organically and it's got good materials and it can still be for a good price. You know what I mean?
Okay.
And there's ways to get around it, but because I'm not gonna lie, I want a clean white t-shirt. Don't get me wrong, but is your clean white t-shirt worth someone's life? You know, because if they're working at
these are all made in sweatshops, yeah.
Yeah, underpaid.
Yeah.
Overworked, poor materials, and they don't care about how much waste the actual factory is making. Obviously they've got laws they have to abide by, but like I said, if they go to certain areas of the world, the laws are different. Yeah. And probably a little bit more laxed in certain areas because they need the money rather than the environment being okay. So, and what really brought it into the forefront of people's minds recently is a lot of the time people won't really give a shit unless it's close to home. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? People are that always happens in sweatshops and wherever. Yeah. People are used to it. People are used to hearing about conditions in sweatshops in, I don't know, you know what I mean? Just anywhere in like a third world area, or underdeveloped is probably a better way to say it. But recently it was found out that in Leicester, in the UK, Boohoo had pretty much a sweatshop.
Boohoo, yeah?
Boohoo.
Listen,
So Boohoo owns Nasty Gal and all of that
shit. If
Boohoo
give me a sponsorship in the future, if it ever happens, I'm not saying anything. Okay?
Yeah. Yeah, just take it down. But yeah.
Will get deleted straight. Carry on.
No, it's true.
It's the same with
That's why influencers influence it. That's why people put it out there, because it's like, I'm getting a bag. I don't care about the environment. And it should be, well, as much as it is down to the consumer to make sure the brand is staying on point,
Yeah.
it's down to the brand whether they want to do it or not. You know what I mean? And
there are some. Okay, you know how you say you can know whether like a white tee is sustainable or not? Is there a way you can find out?
if you read what materials have been used, because on every single garment you have, let's just have a look in here.
Yeah.
This one says 100% cotton, right?
Yeah.
So that's how I know that the materials used. I don't know whether the cotton was sustainably made or gathered or whatever.
Yeah.
So that's one thing I maybe should look into. But if you keep doing that, you're going to be wearing nothing because basically nothing is made sustainably anymore.
But you're just saying the
But
higher the price,
yes,
the better.
higher the price normally means better quality. But if you go into luxury, you normally see that the price is just on the branding on the front. But the quality of the garment can be you can see, because polyester ain't great.
Yeah.
Polyamide is alright, I think. Viscose is like sort of recycled plastics to make it feel like silk, which is alright. But you got to have a look at that, because that will tell you what your garment's made out of, and if there's any sort of plastic in there, then you know it's probably not very good. Yeah, and also that also helps you when washing it, just a little top tip, because obviously if it's 100% cotton, you shouldn't dry it because it'll shrink, that sort of thing. So I feel like just being more.
You should dry clean it, right?
Not even dry clean it, just hang out and just let it dry just naturally. Yeah, but just being more in touch, it's again with fast food, being more aware of what you're eating. If everyone was more aware about what they're eating and what they're taking in, then people would be more aware about or want to buy a little bit more sensibly. So I feel like it should be more of a thing to question what your clothes are made out of, question where it's come from. Because like I said, in Leicester, this is like the UK, right? So I know it's bad to say, oh, it's fine over there, but in the UK we've got to care about it, because I don't think it's good anywhere. But you don't really pay attention to it, and it won't be in our sort of news outlets unless it is in the UK. And there's a sweatshop in Leicester where people are being paid £5 an hour working 10 hours a day. So the minimum wage is £8 something. I work around 9 hours, but I get an hour and a half break.
Yeah.
I highly doubt they got an hour and a half break, right?
No, straight.
And this was during the pandemic, right? So at the start of it. So again, you've got to consider, are they following guidelines like that?
No
Probably
chance.
not.
No chance.
So these people, because you wouldn't work in a sweatshop unless you needed peas, right?
Yeah.
And you wouldn't put yourself in that danger unless you're fucking putting food on the table for your family. So those people don't really have a choice. Because if they leave there, is another minimum wage job somewhere else?
Someone else will be doing what they're doing anyway. Like, the company's not going to stop.
Yeah, that's what I mean. So environmentally, physically, the factories the environment because of all the they're putting out.
Chemicals and stuff.
The chemicals, the amount of water they use. Like, water is being tainted with clothing dyes and chemicals they use in clothes, and it's going into farmlands in certain areas, and then that obviously filters through and it goes into the actual main water system, right? So that's just the environment with the water, and also the chemicals going into the air is going to just the general atmosphere, right? And then you've got to think about where's it being shipped, because if it's being made in some next country across the world, but it's got to be shipped over to the UK to be sold to UK clients, that's all the shipping. That's ships, that's trucks, that's delivery drivers. When you get the cotton to when you're putting it on, there's so much in between, because the people getting the materials, getting the actual.
That's for all clothes, man.
That's everything. I know.
So what? But it's gonna not wear clothes.
That's what I'm saying. If you look too far into it, you're gonna end up walking around naked.
There's one company. I forgot the name. It starts with a P.
Pata.
No, not Pata.
Patagonia.
That one. They're the ones that if you let's say you buy this and you rip it, you're allowed to go back to them and they can repair it to you for free. So you keep on wearing it. So you don't have to buy another pair.
Yeah.
But those type of things are good.
And a lot of the time though, that's considered a luxury. That's considered, we're the only ones that are doing this, so you've got to pay more for it. or if you've got
their prices are right now.
But a Patagonia, I think it's like probably about a similar price to North Face.
And for a jacket.
for jackets, fleece, whatever. I imagine. I'm not too sure, to be honest, but I'm pretty sure because...
You can check.
Let's have a look now.
Keep on talking, I'll check.
But yeah, so a lot of the time when you're buying sustainable things,
no Wi-Fi.
you're paying a price for this for the sustainability, right?
Yeah.
And I feel like that just needs to go. It should just be a given. You shouldn't have to pay an extra price because it's made green, because they've gone out their way to make it green. It should be, you're going out your way anyway, because otherwise you're gonna the world and you're gonna that work for you.
Yeah. So
the reason why it's not bought into enough, or there isn't enough of it going on, is because it's advertised in a certain way. It's like, if you're buying sustainable, you've got enough money to afford it to be sustainable. But if you haven't, and you're gonna have to buy the cheap stuff, which is never gonna be sustainable, it's just made in some next factory.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I feel like it needs to come from the bottom up. You know what I'm saying? You shouldn't have to pay an extra price or feel like you're, you're doing a good job by, well, obviously you are being good by buying sustainably, right? But it should just be a given. It should just be a thing that everyone does. And I know, because that's never going to happen, because it costs a whole lot more money.
Yeah.
And at the end of the day, Primark would rather have the peas in the long run and the environment. Then they'll just move somewhere else and just do it there. So it's not going anywhere, which is, I don't think it will.
Is there any way there's a way to fix it?
I think the only way to fix it is if a lot more people started buying into second-hand clothes, because I feel like there's another stigma there.
Don't I say ASOS, like I read into it that they take ideas from like that the people on Instagram that design their own clothes, right? They take ideas from them and they take it as their own sort of thing.
Oh, that happens all over fashion. Like yeah.
But like, I think that's a bigger issue for me, because you're taking away what they're doing, sort of thing.
Yeah.
And you're taking it for your own. Like, at least say like, okay, it was designed by this person or designed by that person. They don't even do that.
That's what I mean. That's why I love fashion. I hate it at the same time, because it's very bad for the environment. I love clothes. I love like making myself look how I feel is like good, right? I love putting on a nice outfit.
Since you were working at your previous job, you know how because there was a phase where I was going through where I'd be wearing like very like generic clothes. Like I would wear, like I'm wearing black now, but I'd always be wearing like black. Like I'm not wearing black. Like I'd be always wearing black. Because it's just easy and it's just cheap, right? Yeah. Like I just didn't want to express myself. Yeah. But when I saw you, because you bought this a while ago.
I bought this a long time ago.
It's been years, right?
Yeah.
And I've always liked it, and I remember trying it one more time. I was like, wait, yellow is not something I'd usually like buy. But like I'm willing, like it looks good on me, and I'm willing to spend that extra bit just so I can look a bit better and I can express myself a bit more.
Exactly. But so where I feel like the spend a bit more bit, I feel like I agree with, but it can't be a massive amount. Like I said, it can't be like a luxury. If people.
So what Zara are doing with their Balenciagas? Is that fine? Not with their Balenciagas, but their little cheap.
The thing is, they've got loopholes they can go through, right? So they can change little parts of the shoe. Yeah. So it's like, this isn't similar shape. Yeah. But we've got nothing similar that can identify it as a Balenciaga. Yeah. You can tell it's a Zara crepe, but it just looks very similar. But going back to the point where you're like, how do we get out of this? It's like, buy less clothes and make sure the ones you're buying are good quality. You know what I'm saying? Because I've looked through my wardrobe, and I'm sure everyone has a wardrobe that is just full of just like shit they don't wear, or the shit that like lasted about 2 months, and then either ripped or went out of fashion, as it were, or just ain't the style anymore. So instead of buying into trends, cheap trends, don't. I'm not saying make your own trend. I'm just saying buy nice clothes that will always be in trend, that will last a while, that won't just start breaking, that won't just like once you wash it once will shrink, or anything like that. Buy less clothes like that instead of loads of shit ones. And that way, so clothes like that can either be second hand, because if they're second hand, you know they've already lasted a while, from brands that have a good like background. Like, I'm trying to think now. Carhartt's quite good.
Carhartt's very good.
But like I said, no brand is going to be 100% sustainable, right? So if I say a brand that isn't,
I love Carhartt,
and it can last a while, you know what I'm saying? Just like well-made things are much better than loads of cheap that's going to last about 5 seconds. Even though it may look good in the 2 months you've got it, because that's what your favourite rapper's wearing, or that's what Kylie Jenner's wearing. But once she stops wearing that and she's wearing another, because she gets all the for free. That's what people forget. They're not paying for that. They're just putting it on so you can see the trend, and then you go and buy it. So it doesn't stress them. They're just getting a package. I'll whack this on, take a picture, done. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it's true.
But you're the one that's
you're stuck with it.
Yeah, that you're buying. You're stuck with it.
And what do you do if you're There's another thing that I know you do. What do you do with clothes that you don't wear anymore, and shoes that you don't wear anymore?
Give them to charity, because there is a whole wealth of kids and men, women, anyone that just doesn't have good clothes or clothes they can change into. Like some people have been wearing the same clothes for probably about a few weeks. Whether they're on the streets, like whether they have a house or not. It's just they can't afford to buy new clothes, or they've only got like one fit they wear every day. So if you give it to charity, they'll clean it and they'll hand it out. And that is because if you're not wearing it, someone else definitely will. Because whether it might not be in trend for you, but they don't give a about trends. They just want a t-shirt that actually keeps them, that actually works, keeps them warm. So charity, done. If you don't want to, if you think it's too good, or you think it's a nice bit that you don't wear anymore, but you could see someone else wearing, but you don't want to give it to charity, there's all kind of reselling sites. eBay, which is actually pretty good. Depop is banging. Well, Depop's more of a UK thing, I think. I know it is in America, but I don't know. I feel like a lot of UK people use.
I got Russians watching, so.
No, you know what I mean. What's happening? And if you've got like old designer you don't wear, then Grailed is a good place to go. Because that's where a lot of like archive, as it were, like is. So if you're into a fashion but you don't want to buy into luxury prices, but you want to buy into actual genuine fashion from accredited designers that you know, like Margiela or like Dries Van Noten or anyone like that. If you want to buy into it but you haven't got the piece to buy new season, second hand is another very good place to go.
And that's how I'm guessing you buy most of your stuff. Like the
fit I was wearing the other day was
your Carhartt thing.
Yeah, my jacket. This is that is second hand. The thing I'm wearing under here is second hand, the little vest thing. But I just try to buy things that I know will last, and whether that means last for me or last enough so I can sell them on. Just something that won't just rip or like, because these jeans, it's raw denim, right? A lot of times stretch jeans are made with plastic inside. When you wash them, it will melt and they'll shrink and they'll go all kinds of. So another thing is buying into, like I said, making sure you know what's on your garms, because most of the time if it's made with bad materials, it won't last. You won't be able to, you can give it charity, but again it won't last for them either, and you won't be able to sell it on because it's going to be in condition. So just buying things that last works out for you, whoever you may give it to charity, or whoever you may sell it to. You know what I mean? And that's the direction we should be moving in, I believe. But then again, buying like that, like buying second hand or buying sustainably won't get you on a trend. Won't get you on a trend, and that's why it's not going anywhere, because people a lot like this. When I was a teenager, when I was about 14, from 12 to about 16, I just wanted to wear what everyone else was wearing, so I didn't look like a weirdo. So I totally appreciate that.
I'll be wearing like in Tamil parties. I'll be wearing like my football trainers to parties. Like it was a mess.
Yeah, that's what I mean. And now you see like everyone wearing. Certain groups will be wearing like all Nike Techs and Canada Gooses, then like just a Trapstar hoodie with some D squared jeans. It's like your outfit looks the same as the next guy. It's a nice fit, but don't you want to switch it up? Don't you want to stand out a little bit? You know what I mean? And I appreciate moving away from the crowd takes a lot of courage, and you may even get clowned for it. But you've got to realise if you're getting clowned for it, or the people that are clowning you for it, one, if you don't know them, why do you care? Two, if you do know them, if they're clowning you for what you want to wear, then
it's just they're a bit jealous.
Yeah, not even jealous, but like they're just
if they care about what you're wearing,
they're clearly insecure, so it's not your issue. As long as you're happy with what you're wearing, and you may be happy wearing a Boohoo Man jumper, but I feel like people's idea of what looks good needs to switch, because like I said, there's a lot of stigma behind second-hand clothes and wearing what's not in trend.
Yeah.
Because unless if you don't normally wear it, people will be. If say you one day you're wearing a Nike Tech and you're wearing like brand new everything.
Nike ain't that good either in terms of sweatshops.
No,
like
it's
I
not.
wear a lot of Nike.
Mm.
Okay, most of the stuff is Nike that I wear.
Yeah.
Like I know that these lot make their stuff in sweatshops, and I'm not. Like I don't.
That's what I mean. It's so hard to get away with it.
So, but like
Get away from it. Sorry.
there's. If I go further up from Nike in terms of what I wear, like I'm spending a lot more in it, and I can't really afford that right now.
That's what I mean. And
sort of thing. So I'm
and
still
I'm
stuck
not-
in the.
yeah, and I see because of where I work, I see like jumpers that are worth like £7 literally because they've got a print on it, and it probably cost about 20 quid to make. So I'm not saying buy into luxury, because a lot of the time luxury is just a brand on a jumper, and the brand is what boosts the price by £600 and not the quality. Sometimes, a lot of the time, it's brands that don't like branding, so they have to focus on how it's made and the technical side of it,
Yeah.
which is better. So you're paying for the materials and the how it's made.
Yeah.
But so buying into that might be a good idea, but I'm not saying just buy into luxury, because luxury a lot of the time is still just as fast fashion, but it's not made in the same quantity,
Yeah.
because so it's like harder to get, so it's not as bad for the environment. If luxury was made in the same quantity and this for the same demand as fast fashion, it would be just as bad. And the whole fashion industry is the environment, and there's not an easy way out, but the first step needs to be looking at what you're wearing. Do I really want this, or am I just wearing it because my next mate has it? Or would I rather have a pair of jeans that some guys owned, but they're going to last me a while and they still look alright, they just haven't got some next branding on my ass?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, surely the quality of your jeans and materials that you're wearing matters more than
What it looks like. Actually,
not even
no,
what it looks like, but then the brand.
Yeah.
Like just having like something on your ass,
especially
or like, stick on your
trousers.
leg.
Like I don't care what trousers I get, as long as I do, but like as long as it like Carhartt, right? If the Carhartt logo on that trouser is on the back of my pants, right? You can't really see that.
Yeah.
Like it's not like I'm trying to show off my trousers sort of thing. So I don't really worry about it. I just worry about, like you said, the quality and
Exactly.
how much I'll wear it. I will wear that a lot.
Mm-hmm.
Like these type of things you need to look at. You can't just be looking at like, oh look, Molly
I'm
May's
gonna
wearing,
buy this
or
Bullman
Kylie
jumper
Jenner's
for this
wearing.
motive.
Yeah, you know, like it's a waste.
Yeah, so I'm gonna buy this whatever brand jumper because it's good. It's good. I like it, and I see myself wearing it multiple different times, and it's gonna last a few years.
And if you do, like you said, if you do buy something that you're not gonna wear more than once, you can do that thing. You can rent clothes now. You can rent clothes now, which is better because
It is better.
Obviously now COVID and that, it's not really good to be wearing other people's clothes, like what other people are wearing. But like when obviously this is gonna go at some point, hopefully, I pray God will back it. Like renting clothes is better because you're paying for it, let's say for a week, and like it's not gonna be in your wardrobe. And like what you lot are doing, where you buy it, or like I did as well at some point, where you buy it for a particular motive and then you don't wear it again. Instead, you can
The
rent
option
it
of
out
bringing it back. Yeah.
and bring it back.
But where that is sustainably, it makes a lot of sense and it's good.
Yeah.
But also similarly, if you got to question yourself, right? If you're renting out a jumper to stunt on people, basically, and if you're renting out because you like the way it looks and you can't afford it, different story. If you're renting it out to stunt, it's just weird, because like you don't own it, you know. So instead of buying it, for the way you look to other people, buy it for the man in the mirror. You know what I mean?
But then, no. Okay, let's say you're going to a wedding. You're gonna buy a suit for a wedding.
Yeah.
You could just rent a suit out for that particular event.
Yeah.
No one's gonna care after that.
Yeah.
But like that kind of stuff, or like a very high-end party, like after that day, no one's gonna care.
Yeah. But you're doing it for yourself. You're doing it because you want to look good, right? If you're...
But then that way you're saving the planet as well.
Yeah. No, I hear that.
So it's a bit of in the middle sort of thing.
Yeah. It's just but yeah, so I get that. But it's just the mindset of if you're buying it to flex, you're being sustainable, so I don't really give a but if you're buying it to flex, so you've got to sort of just question yourself a little bit. It's like,
I don't think it's flexing. It is flexing, but there's nothing wrong with that. You wear jewelry, I wear jewelry. That's slightly flexing.
I do. I'm being a bit hypocritical because I do wear brands, so you know I'm wearing a brand, right?
Yeah.
But it's a difficult one because
I know what you mean. I know.
It's a difficult one because I don't want to sound like I'm coming across like some entitled prick. It's like, oh, I know my fashion, blah blah blah. What are you wearing? These wear jeans. Like, I appreciate it. I know the style and I know it looks good, right? But if you can't get it how you live, you know what I'm saying? If you can't really afford it, like, you can buy it, but can you afford it? You know what I'm saying? If you've got,
it's what they say. If you can buy one, you should be able to buy another 2 more.
Yeah. If you've got 1,200 in your bank account and you're spending 1,100 on a pair of jeans, you can buy it, but you've got 100 quid left for the rest of the month. You know what I'm saying? You can buy it, but you can't afford it, right? So that's another thing. If you can't afford,
and that's where the renting comes in.
That's where the renting comes in, yeah. And I know it's like you want to be in Bullman or you want to be in Givenchy, but you can't afford it, so you want to rent it for a bit. I get that, but are you doing it because you want to be in Givenchy, or you think the tings at the Motive and the people at the Motive want to see you in Givenchy? Do you know what I'm saying? It's like, do you want to put up because people say, oh yeah, what a nice jumper, man? Or
you like that feeling, though?
You do. It's a nice feeling. Pardon me.
He's fine. He's testing it.
Just testing the mic, yeah. But I like the feeling. But I prefer the feeling when it's like, I like your fit, because then that's what I've done. If people say, I like the one piece you're wearing, I don't know. It's like, it's a sticky one, man. It's a sticky one.
I think renting is fine. I think there's nothing wrong with it. I think that's the best way to
listen. If you want to stunt, do your thing, because you're being sustainable. But just like
stunt in the renting way. I think that's fine. I used to take the piss. Like, there was a place in Westfield where they opened up a shoe renting place. And I was taking the piss out of that. And now I'm thinking, you know what? If it's gonna be for like a Motive for like one day, take it.
Yeah,
what's wrong?
it's sustainable,
Nothing wrong with it.
And it's better for the environment. But it's gonna luxury don't want that. Well, actually, no.
No, they do, because then they'll also be getting money for that.
Yeah,
Loads
true.
of people will be getting it.
But it would just be more accessible, which may be not what they want. But then, if it's more accessible, they're just going to make things that aren't accessible, so they've still got that desire for what you... Because imagine if you're renting, it'll just be the stuff that everyone can rent.
Yeah, it's not going to be like a...
If you're actually buying...
Get Jordan 1s.
Yeah, if you're actually buying Balenci, they'll have a part where it's like, okay, cool, you can rent this, but this is our new season, so if you want to actually look like you're wearing Balenciaga, you want to look... If you want to be wearing new Balenciaga, you've got to buy it.
Yeah.
So I guess, yeah, I mean, renting sort of makes sense. It just is a bit silly, though.
It is silly.
It is a bit silly, because, like...
We'll get used to it. I reckon in the future it'll be
sort of
more
like,
common.
Yeah, and it also sort of detracts my point about buying it because it will last.
Yeah.
But then again, if you're buying it and you know it won't last, because half the times these designer jumpers have literally just got a logo print on it. If it won't last, you're sort of being a little smarter by renting it. And if you still wanna flex, and if you still wanna wear Givenchy, then I guess it's probably the best way for it. But I just feel like it's a little bit silly, and I wouldn't buy into that, because if you say, oh, where did you get a jumper from, and then people find out you rented it, you are gonna get clowned a little bit because you haven't bought it properly. But if you're but if you don't care about that, do your thing. You know what I'm saying? But if you're buying it saying, yeah, I paid 7 bills for this, and then you're like lying and it's all of that, then it gets a bit weird. You know,
I would never rent, but maybe I might.
I might
in the future.
do.
If that's the way forward, then cool. But
yeah,
I'd rather rent out than go to Primark and buy like a black tea, and that's gonna pollute the ocean and cause a couple of people cancer or something.
Yeah, no, true. Say, just go and
using that dye to kill off the fish.
And
it'll piss me off.
See, Primark and Boohoo Man and Nasty Girl are very easy to go after, because their clothes are very cheap.
Yeah.
And people know about the environmental issues they have. I feel like the biggest danger is places like Zara and Uniqlo, which in my opinion are still fast fashion.
Where are you going today?
I'm going to Uniqlo. But the reason why Uniqlo doesn't get that sort of weird, not even weird, that sort of stigma behind it about stealing, about being fast fashion, is because it doesn't normally steal trends. It just makes very simple clothes that anyone can wear to anywhere, like white t-shirts, check shirts, black trousers, brown jumpers. Like, there's not a trend there. So people that are into fashion is like, okay, they're not trying to They're not trying to be Balenciaga, or they're not trying to be Givenchy or whatever. They're just doing their own thing, but they're still making it in vast quantities, probably cheap, and in areas where labour is cheaper and less monitored. You know what I'm saying? So it's less, and where it doesn't steal ideas or do that sort of thing.
You're fine with it?
No, I'm not fine with it. But it just slides under the radar a little bit more. But you need a place to get a white t-shirt, and it shouldn't.
I don't want to get.
I can sign as many petitions as I want.
Yeah.
I can post as many things in my story, but I don't run Uniqlo. So if it's got to come from them.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And
it'll never happen. It's not sustainable for them. Like
money wise, no, it's not. And but where Zara does steal trends, it makes good quality things. So it sort of makes you.
I like Zara's trousers. They're good.
Because the denim feels like raw denim, and the t-shirts are heavy. You know what I mean? They're thick. So it's sort of like, oh, this is good quality. It goes over your head that it's fast fashion, because they've still made loads of it in fast quantities.
The right way, but the wrong way. They were the pioneers to it, in my opinion. Bro.
Yeah, no, because they've got good quality clothes, but they just need to check how they're making them.
Yeah.
And make them less.
Man. Even
it's
Nike,
like,
come on, Nike, not Nike. Come on, man.
It is Nike.
It's Nike though.
Is it?
Yeah.
I'm gonna say Nike.
I'll say.
Is
Nike.
it a bikey or is it a bike? You know what I'm saying?
People in Canada clown me every time I say Nike. They go, Nike. It's all Adidas.
Adidas. Nah, it's Adidas, bro. Get it right.
But yeah, is there any? Like, I'm gonna cut this off. But like, is there any brands that you would recommend?
Not brands in particular, but ways of shopping.
Okay.
So, secondhand.
Yeah.
And check the material it's made out of, and just avoid boohoo man if you can.
Yeah.
Because I know you might see a shirt.
You can pay the extra £3 to buy a better like tee. Yeah.
Or even sometimes on secondhand it's not even. It's the same price.
Yeah.
And you just got to get rid of it out of your head that it's gonna stink.
By someone else,
it's been worn by someone else.
tear.
Put it in the washing machine. Because if it's gonna last, it's gonna last after a wash, right?
Vintage is nice, yeah. But there's some nice stuff like what's that vintage thing you sent me?
American Madness.
Very good.
That's what I mean for jackets and trousers, that sort of thing. Because you know if it's secondhand, it's lasted. So all I'm gonna say is I'm not gonna say go to any specific brands because your style's up to you. Just be aware of where you're shopping from and where it's been and how you're buying it, basically.
Fair enough, man. So yeah, let's see if we can keep recording during lockdown. There could be ways around it. There could be ways around it, I reckon. If we go to we can do this outside. What's wrong with this? Like I'll scan myself. I can scan. I'm going to uni. You're gonna. I'm going to uni. Yeah. What's the difference? Like you can go to uni, but you can't be kicking ball.
I sort of understand that.
Well, why?
In a way.
If you're stuck in a room that's stuffy and stuff.
Yeah.
How is that allowed and you're not allowed to go to ball with the boys?
Because your uni work, you need it. You need your degree.
Yeah, but you can do it online. I can do it from home. What's the difference? Most stuff's online anyway. I don't have to go in.
I don't agree with it either, like particularly. But all I'm saying is in my opinion, the sort of thinking behind it is.
You need uni. You need a degree.
Yeah, you need uni.
You can do it from.
But you
from
exactly. So it's playing football with your mates isn't essential, right?
Yeah,
so,
but you need to be going outside.
You're not going to the same people.
Nah, that's cap, man. Bro, in high school, we used to always go to football. We needed that after school. We used to always go Barclay Fields, man.
Yeah, no, that's true.
Like we need that. You can't just be sitting, going to uni, like just study. Like you're opening schools, you're opening like uni. Like how does that even make sense? If you're stuck in a room for like 20, 30 kids, of course you're wearing your mask.
You're still reducing the amount of people going outside though, right? Because not everyone's going to uni,
but people are still going to be going to shops. Most of the shops now are more like prepared for COVID. They're still going to be going outside. We're still allowed to go outside.
It will only be like Boots and Sainsbury's though.
PC was open. I bought a doorbell the other day. I said, "Oh, can I come next week?" He said, "Yeah."
Is that essential? Apparently so.
People wanted laptops though. That's why. I think that's the reason. Like everyone's doing stuff online now. Everyone needs a laptop.
It's like as long as the shop has like an argument for why it's an essential shop.
Essential, yeah.
Because realistically, if you're selling clothes, it's not essential.
That's why we're going today. We're going right now.
That's why we're going to have to go right now. Last day.
We should. We should try it. Yeah, but yeah, it was a good episode.
It was a good episode. A little bit of a COVID talk at the end. It was a little discussion.
Yeah. I think the government, just think about what you're doing.
Boris, sort your life out, mate.
But yeah,
sort it out.
We will hopefully try and record a bit more.
Yeah, I
If
think.
not, we'll be back in December.
I reckon we can get away with this because it said you can meet one person outside. That's exactly what I'm doing right now.
Hopefully it doesn't rain, but England, you don't know about this weather. So, yeah,
Listen, the
it's
fact that
nice.
it's like this today is very lucky.
We should make the most of it and go to London right now.
100%. Let's do it. That was horrendous.
Yeah.
That was the handshake ever. But you know what? It's alright.
See ya.
Podcast done. See you later.
Should be fine. The closer we bring it, the better. Actually.
Should we make a little thumbnail right now?
We can. Hold on. Wait. Hello?
Good evening.
It's
How are
working.
you?
Yeah.
Right, thumbnail time.
Oh, I didn't put the
The what?
you'll see. Wait.
The muzzle.
Yeah.
What muzzle?